Welcome everybody to another exciting edition of Transformers Reviews. Well, today guys, we are taking a look at Scraphook, and as you can see right now, currently he is boosting up our boy Twincast. Now, the way you see this done right here, with the shield over here on this arm, the hook right here, the feet being boosted, and the things on the shoulders, that's the stereotypical way that the instructions suggest using him in such a manner. Now, with that being said, while I like how these feet look like sort of wings, I thought, well, shoot, I kind of wish this guy had a jetpack, because that's about the only thing he's missing, right? Well, when I looked to see if I could use the cab of the truck, well, there's really no way to do it because it's got nothing but female ports on it, so there's no way to actually attach it and use it as a backpack. Now, that's kind of my beef with a lot of the weaponizers, modulator, fossilizer kind of play pattern, is a lot of the times you can see that the limbs of the boys always look good utilized as pieces for the other guys. And then you're just kind of left with like the torso piece that can't really do anything. So I thought, okay, what if we use this, reconfigure it, and kind of combine it with some other loose stuff that we have lying around? And so as you can see here, we actually used it as a gun emplacement for the tape deck boys. And you know what? I think it actually works kind of nice. So that has redeemed the core section of Scraphook for me, at least whenever it's by itself. So here we can see our boy doing what his alt mode does best, being a tow truck. And you know what? I just kind of find it funny and amusing that it works so well in that capacity, despite the fact that, I mean, you look at this boy's truck style, it's very clearly Mad Max inspired, which, I mean, that's basically all the Junkions are, is they're all just a bunch of robot homages to Mad Max. And I like that for the fact that that style has been applied to a tow truck. Now, we've already seen the green repaint for Tow Line and how he's going to be coming out, so seeing this sort of molding, but with his colors and his head sculpt, it's going to be an interesting one to look at, but I just dig this vehicle mode. So when you begin to stack our boy up against his fellow Deluxes, like Minerva, who we saw him hauling earlier, or Wheeljack, you can see that he definitely fits in with his fellow Deluxe size class figures. However, there has been a little bit of contention when you start moving him up the scale with like his fellow Voyagers, especially his fellow Junkions. Which, to be fair, when you compare vehicle mode to vehicle mode, it does kind of make you wonder why they didn't go Voyager class for all of the Junkions. Yet I kind of look at this, I'm like, okay, well, if you strip away the Junkion factor, it is a modulator, and they have always typically been Deluxe size class, so I get that. Plus, there's one thing that I think about in the fact that you're not really supposed to compare these guys vehicle mode to vehicle mode. However, when you go into robot mode, that size discrepancy turns into an advantage, because as you can see, when he's riding his fellow Junkion bike, that actually looks a lot better with him being at the size he currently is. Because while you can have Voyagers ride Voyagers, it doesn't always turn out looking as well. So I have to say this about our boy Scraphook, is the one thing that I saw from the moment I saw his head sculpt is I thought, okay, this is basically Impactor if he was a pirate, because he's got the same general head shape as our boy over here, but as you can see, basically he's got an eye patch and the pirate goatee, which is funny because even though he's got that pirate aesthetic, he's the guy with the hook hand. You can literally see how it's very Impactor in shape and how the details, I mean, like I said, it was this guy, but as a pirate. So I would be a little bit remiss if I didn't show you how he looked with his Junkion bros. And, you know, if you feel that they should all be the same height, you are totally justified in feeling that. Personally, though, I am not upset that he's a little bit smaller. I mean, the thing is like I brought out in vehicle mode, because he is that sort of weaponizer modulator thing, that's why he has to be a Deluxe, because the engineering cost, you know, and all that sort of stuff that goes into it. But the thing is it does have that added benefit of, like we saw earlier, where he does look more proportional as he's riding one of these guys when they're in vehicle mode. But again, that's just personal preference. So it probably should not surprise anybody considering that the majority of this guy's color scheme is orange. And I think it ties in very nicely with all the browns and the grays and everything. I love how the front half of the truck basically forms the lower half. How he's got like this spike shield over here, the hook, how the smokestacks look really kind of sick on the arms, and how the back is very tidy. Which you can see his weapons, if you wanted to use them like jet boosters or a rocket pack, you definitely could do that. But the one thing that I am not thrilled about is the fact that he's this pistachio head, and the fact that it's pretty hollow, which, okay, yeah, I'm not liking that nowadays. And while his blasters may not be the most slickest looking thing, at least they did something. I mean, you can leave them down here plugged in robot mode and it will not affect anything. But at least he comes with a couple blasters. Which it's so good that our boy has so many options to him, especially when the Decepticons come looking to cause trouble. And you can see here that with the rest of his Junkion bros, that he looks pretty cool in this battle sequence. So no matter whomever you put this guy up against, you can definitely tell that he was designed to look awesome, and he is definitely killing it in that regard. So, just to let everybody know before we wrap things up here, if you guys have not had the opportunity to look at it, we did a review of Tarn, and let me tell you, that figure, he is very interesting, and it was kind of fun to shoot that video. But then again, Scraphook, he's interesting in his own manner as well. With that being said, guys, that was our look at the Legacy Evolution version of Scraphook, and until next time, we'll see you in another review.